try and fill it low, continue to load until one thing. Those guys in the rear rank, they didn't just stand around and wait. They're firing right there at the same time. They would bring their weapon down over that right shoulder. Now, one thing, there is no such thing as a left-handed soldier. Rear rank, ready, aim, fire. Move. Free speed. Everything you need to do is on that right side. Your target box on the right side. That box on the right side. The hammer of the weapon is on the right side. Aim. Fire. Automatically, in this case, once they have fired by file, they will begin reloading and firing at will until a command received is done. So they'll just automatically reload and keep firing until that somebody can give them one thing. They rifles, muskets, they're range up to 300 to 350 yards.
Load and come to the shoulder.
At that rate. But they're going to be fighting roughly at a range of anywhere from 50, 25, sometimes as close to 15 yards apart. That's because of the tactics that they were taught. The tactics were from the previous century. When you had a musket, you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn at 10 yards. That's where that expression came from. If you took 104 muskets, stood them up 10 yards away from a barn and fired them all at the same time, maybe 10 of those rounds would hit the broadside of that barn. That's where that expression came from. Aim! Fire! Load! Firing a company volley brought one limit. Aim! Sometimes the commands were given by the
Elevate, gentlemen, elevate. Fire!
See, there were loaded weapons. That's why they do that.
Fire! Back valve, left! March! Back valve, left! March! Rifle, left, flank! March!
What he just did, they were in a column of company, or company column. They shifted because the enemy would be on that side of them. So they had shifted into a battle line by that formation, by going to the flank.
Right, face. Counter march. 5 fouls, right. March. Counter march. On and running. My company in line. March. Over here, First Sergeant. Hang on. Battle line out here, gentlemen.
Again, this was just another means of going from a column.
My company in the line. March. Why are we in single file here? Why are we in single?
Together with a crank mechanism and a magazine-fed operation. Literally, you are taking a company of men and putting them into this one little compact weapon here. Well, it's not that compact, but it's still pretty compact. So what you have is, you have a weapon as long as you have a man feeding magazines into this weapon and somebody cranking it, you can keep a constant volume of fire out in front of you. Now, the main place that they were used was at Fort Wagner, and there were some out here on the peninsula, or not the peninsula, right there actually on the Bermuda 100. General Butler actually had 3 Gatlings that were attached to his headquarters to help his headquarters security when he could have been using them someplace else. But as I said, this weapon right here is basically the forerunner of the modern machine gun. It literally will revolutionize, if you will, warfare in the aspect that you can't advance over open ground against a weapon with a constant volume of fire. This is what a company of infantrymen will try to do to keep up a constant volume of fire, but they cannot come close to the rate of fire of a Gatling gun. Because like I said, as long as somebody's feeding ammo into it and somebody's cranking, it's going to keep a heavy volume of fire. A lot of people don't realize it, but the artillery units, and I'm going to go one war up from the Civil War. In the Spanish-American War, most artillery units actually had heavy caliber Gatling guns. They were actually 20mm Gatling guns that were attached to the artillery units. So they made them different calibers too, just like we have machine guns of different calibers today. But like I said, the most important thing to remember is the war between the states was one thing. It was an innovative technical war. This weapon, in a few years, the automatic weapon will change the face of warfare completely. This was just the forerunner, literally, to that. So we've gone not only to a rifled musket that can hit targets at 300+ yards, but now we also have a weapon that can put out an absolutely incredible volume of fire from one single weapon. What was the cost of the cost? Now, one thing you'll know, behind an earthwork, the enemy's advancing across the field, and all you gotta do is have 3 operators in essence. You have one guy pulling the magazine out, you have another guy putting a new magazine in, and you have the person cranking it. And that person cranking can also move it back and forth. They're gonna put a heck of a lot of fire out in that field. I'm gonna tell you a little true story. Reenactment story, but it's a true story. About 10 years ago, we were doing a reenactment in Texas at a place called Fort Concho. Had about 400 Confederates and about 50 Yankees. Well, we're fighting a tactical battle, and we're pushing those Yanks all over the place. Well, we come up over this ridge, here's the camp. We're charging down, and them Yanks are going to defend the camp to the last, because they're taking casualties fast. Our company commander waves his sword and says, "Let's go, boys." About the time he waved his sword, they whipped the cover off a wagon that was parked in the middle of that camp, and they had a Gatling gun sitting on the back of the wagon. They had 3 guys, and they weren't using straight magazines. They were using donut magazines, I believe, held 100 rounds. He started cranking that thing and just putting out, and he was cranking seriously. And as fast as one magazine went empty, they were throwing another one on there. My company commander just looked and said, "Die gloriously, boys."